What is up, everybody? It's Heretic here, and welcome back to another edition of the Impossible Deck Challenge. Now, you might be asking, what about Night March is impossible? This is a Tier 1 to Tier... some even consider Tier 0 standard deck. How is this an impossible deck? Well, I'm glad you asked, because one of the recommendations I got was to play Night March with a special handicap, or rule, should I say. And that rule is that we can only attack with Lampent. So rather than the traditional list, which does not even bother to put Lampent into play, this time we are forced to run Litwick to bring Lampent out, and then not only that, but Lampent can be our only attacker. So we are not able to Night March with Pumpkaboo or Joltik, and we are not able to Sky Return our Shamans either. Also, we're not able to attack with Litwick for what that's worth. So we have 2 attacks to work with on Lampent. Curse Drop for 1 Psychic, placing 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon however you like, and then of course Night March. Now, Lampent, as well as being a Stage 1, also has the most expensive copy of Night March, which you would think it'd be the other way around, but for a Psychic and 2 colorless, even with a Dimension Valley in play, you would still need 2 energy cards to fuel this, so thus we are not even bothering with Dimension Valley, and we're just going to try and get our Lampents into play and then just attack. So for that reason, I've opted to include 4 copies of EXP Share to conserve some energy. The rest of the list, other than the addition of the 4 Litwicks, which looks kind of funny, and the EXP shares, the rest of the list is pretty much the same. We just had to make room for Litwicks and EXP shares. So any attack buffers are out. And then we also had to trim down on Slim the Acrobikes out of the deck, drop down to 2 Shamans, and since we also need to make room for basic energy here as well. So otherwise everything else is pretty much the same. You got a 4/4/4 Night March, 4 compressors, 4 puzzles. Startling Megaphone's a card I don't really want to be without because of stuff like Fighting Fury Belt and random Focus Sash. Town Map is just really good, I think, especially when we need to get our evolutions in play. 4 Trainer Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker. We got Hex Maniac, Lysander, N, 3 Sycamores, Teammates, and then a Floatstone, 4 Double Colorless, and 4 Psychic. Now, I went ahead and, like I said, I dropped the Dimension Valley because we still do have the 4 Double Colorless and the 4 basic Psychics, so really, I mean, the only thing that Dimension Valley would do, you could use 2 basic energies to attack instead of needing a double colorless, but that seems like something that's not really quite necessary. I mean, I guess we could probably go to like 6 or 7 Psychic and try to put 1 or 2 Dimension Valleys in, but I think I'd rather just not have to worry about that and worry about my stadium getting bumped. But anyway, this is the Impossible Deck Challenge, so we are going to play until we lose, so here we go. So let's see what kind of sinkhole you guys put me into this time. All right, so let's see. We're gonna go first. Defaulted us to the good deck box. That's cool. So we're gonna start with a Litwick, and it kind of looked like our opponent was playing Night March too. So let's see if we can't get another Litwick down. Oh, maybe not. He's playing a Hoopa. Okay. Well, I like EXs. They give me 2 prizes per round. Let's see, what do we have? Ultra Ball would be discarding the 2 supporters, and then we'd be VS Seekering to get 1 back, so I'm going to fail that. Ultra Ball these 2. And we're gonna get, let's see, we got 4, so we got a Lampent prized. That's it, though. We got none of our Joltiks prized, none of our Pumpkaboos prized. So we'll go ahead and grab, and I actually think, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that there, and put this up here for now. Realize how bad that probably is. So just gonna try to get the most out of this Sycamore here. Go ahead and dump some stuff we don't need. Get out of here. And do a Trainer's Mail. Ugh. Yeah, whatever. Rearrange my top 3. Well. Yeah, you know what? Actually, we can do that. Well, actually, I think I want to put the Trainer's Mail up there so I get a choice. Maybe I can dig a little beyond that. And we're just going to pass the turn here, and I think we're just going to pretty much sacrifice this active Litwick. There's not really much else we can do with it. So we see a trainer's mail for a max elixir here. Maybe a Manectric of sorts. And he discards a Mega Audino. Oh, interesting. Now, how does that thing work? Played a supporter's 50 damage. Oh, wow. Okay. That could be bad news. 220 HP is going to be a little tough to hit, too. So he goes and grabs an Audino. Definitely interesting. 20, heal 20. Okay, so it's like Fossil Wigglytuff, or Jungle Wigglytuff on steroids. It looks like no, he didn't get an energy. So he puts a Floatstone on Hoopa and passes. So we will likely regret not saving that spot for a Floatstone, or better yet, just attaching up there. But we'll go ahead and evolve. And we're going to get an energy on there. We're going to throw these two away to go and get a Shaman. And we're going to go ahead and dig. Alrighty. So we can throw more stuff away here. Not sure if we have much left in terms of Night Marchers. We can get rid of these two. And let's get rid of the teammates. And keep that in the discard for later. And I think that's about it. We'll go ahead and pass, and if we get another round of this, we can actually take a knockout. So not a terrible setup. I think we did definitely misplay here. I wanted to be a little more on the on the side of caution here. But he's just going to attach a Rainbow Energy and pass. So we're going to go ahead, put the Psychic Energy over here, and retreat. And we're going to bring up Lampent, who is going to go ahead and Night March for way more than enough due to weakness. 280 damage. And we'll go ahead and claim a couple of prize cards. So we get a Lampent and a Trainer's Mail off the prizes. Now we've got a double colorless energy all set for that Litwick, which also has the EXP share on it. So even if we were to be knocked out by an attack here, we would send the Psychic Energy over to the other Litwick, which we would then be able to attach a double colorless to, and at this point an Ultra Ball would get us enough to knock this thing out should it fail to Mega Evolve. And there's Jolteon EX. For once not a threat to a Night March deck. And then he puts down a Ho-Oh as well. We see another Audino come down. So not the most meta of decks, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I mean, after all, with this thing, you know, I don't mind quite so much. So he attaches a Lightning Energy to Joltik here, and I guess we'll see a Drain Slap, which will hit us for 20 damage. And he heals the 10 damage off him, so he's back up to a full 180. We draw Shaman off the top, which isn't going to do much for us right now. We got 7 Night Marchers in discard. Lysander in here? No, it is not. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and do a Trainer's Mail here. And it looks like we're just getting Compressor. So do we have 2 things we can compress? Do we have 2 Lampents in the deck? Yeah, we do. Awesome. So we can toss those out, evolve this one. Go ahead and slap a double colorless on there. And we can Night March for 180. Get that thing out of there. And we'll get 2 more prize cards from our deck now. And so let's see. We just need 1 more knockout now. We've got 2 Lampents going. Pretty solid look right now. It's looking like he's going to Lysander now. So he's going to bring our Shaman up. Now we've got Floatstone ready to help us out of this situation here. But he Mega Evolves. So now we're not, all of a sudden we're not doing an OHKO, but we do draw Lysander, so that will give us the game. So we can retreat into Lampent, Lysander out the Jolteon EX, and we can use Night March for the knockout, and Lampent delivers a W. How about that? Whew. Wow. Alrighty, on to game 2. Okay, so on to game 2. it's going to flip a Lucario coin and blah blah blah. I hope. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to start with that Pumpkaboo. Our opponent got a mulligan, so we'll get an extra card. So we see Gallade. I did see in his types it was Darkness, Fighting, and Colorless, so probably a YZG. Let's go ahead and see what shows up here. Couldn't deal me like a Mega Mewtwo or something? Yeah, I would love an extra card. Not sure how much that helps me. Fright Knight. I can't EXP share against Fright Knight. So he puts an Eviltal EX down, so that's a nice little target to have. We see an Acrobike. He's going to discard Gallade. Okay, so we see an energy go on to Eviltal. We're going to go ahead and do an Ultra Ball here. We're going to discard Lysander and this EXP share. Go find a Litwick. Okay, so one Pumpkaboo is there. So we got all of our Litwicks, all our Pumpkaboos, all of our Joltiks, all but one Lampent, and okay, the other Shaman's in hand. So we got most of our stuff here. Let's go ahead and Battle Compressor. Discard out all of these things. And we'll set up here. Alright, so there's a second Litwick. Go ahead and do a Trainer's Mail. And we'll get an EXP share over here. Doesn't do anything just yet, but next turn we can do something with it. Let's just kind of go ahead and try to get ourselves set up here. Alright. So I think we're just going to go ahead and end then. Try to get a fresh hand going and we can dump some more stuff here. Do have the Lampent for next turn. What we don't have is the double colorless. So let's go ahead and toss a few things. Get all those in the discard. Then we'll do one more. Get that last Joltik. Can also get Compressor, and let's go ahead and put Teammates down there. And I think that's probably about all we're going to be able to do right now. We really need to hit a Psychic Energy here, though. Assuming he attaches a double colorless, gotta hope we don't see a Lysander coming up, because that would mess us up pretty darn well. Alright, so let's see if he decides to do maybe a Pitch Black Spear here. We see another Fright Knight come down. 2 Fright Knights in Standard. Wow. Crazy stuff. So he Trainer's Mails for a VS Seeker. Maybe have a Battle Compressor here or something. We do see a double colorless come down. So we're just going to see a Pitch Black Spear. That's going to knock us out and hit 60 damage onto our Shaman. So we'll yield away 1 prize, which is okay, because that gets Pumpkaboo out of the way. And so we draw into another Professor Sycamore there. So let's just go ahead and continue to get these candles down on the bench while we can. And we'll evolve into Lampent and launch a Sycamore here. So we do get our energy, that's good. Go ahead and throw another Lampent on the board. And we can attach and use Night March for 140. 160 actually, my bad, but he knocked out our other Pumpkaboo. So we'll claim a prize card there. We get another Lampent, not too bad. And he's got no energy on his bench, so that's beneficial here. We've got some stuff to work with. We did lose the one double colorless to Sycamore, but I guess that's what Puzzle of Time is for, you know? So we see an Acrobike. He's going to draw one, discard one. And we could also pitch a Lampent if we wanted to Lysander up that Evil EX and simply take it off the board. Ultra Ball discards Maxis and Zoroark. I'll see if maybe Gallade or maybe the other baby Eviltal or something is about to make its appearance. Maybe a Zorua. So instead he grabs a Shaman. So more Lysander targets just kind of hanging out for us. We see a Muscle Band go on to Evil EX. Plays Puzzle of Time. Maybe setting up for that Maxie's Hidden Ball trick here. So he rearranges his top three. Benches the Shaman. Draws 4. And then we see another Acrobike. Discards an Evil EX. Plays Trainer's Mail. And what are we getting? And so he just forfeits. So we are now 2-0. Woo! So Lampent is in the driver's seat, ladies and gentlemen. We are going on to Game 3. Alright, Game 3. So far we are 2-0. That's surprising 2-0 at that. So we're going to go ahead and call our coin, and we're going first. Yeah. Pumpkaboo. Splat, splat. Pumpkin guts. Alright. So let's see what we end up with here. So he leads with a Regice. I guess I can be okay with Regice. I mean, that doesn't really do a whole lot to knock us down. Looks like we got... Okay, we prized a Joltik. How about our Pumpkaboo? How many are in here? Okay. Let's get rid of both of those now. We can toss out Joltik. Let me make sure that... Okay, yeah. Because our hand is just garbage, so... Go ahead and put another one down. And we'll get rid of those as well. And I guess we can get rid of a Sycamore. And unfortunately, we're going to have to put another Pumpkaboo down, just in case. So we've got a pair of Pumpkaboos here, and so we see an energy go down onto Regice and a Muscle Band. He plays a Rough Seas, Shamans for 3 cards. You want to play an N, help a buddy out. So he attaches Muscle Band to Shaman. And plays Professor Sycamore. So we see Manectric Spirit Link, Rough Seas, VS Seeker, Lightning Energy go to the discard. Manectric comes down. And we see another Trainer's Mail. Oh, maybe that was the first one. Okay, so he grabs a Judge. Interesting stuff. Okay. Plays another Muscle Band, so now he's got 3 of them on the board. Another Trainer's Mail comes down. And what's he grabbing? Red card. Oh, please play it. Play it. Play it. Play it. Play it. Kick me out of the soccer game. How dare you. Ugh. Gross. Let's go ahead and puzzle those top 3. Yeah, one of those. That sounds like about what I want right now. And go ahead. Okay. Is he going to judge me? Is he going to red card me? Is he going to red card me and then judge me? That'd be actually pretty hilarious. Instead, he just plays a Sycamore. Lovely. So red card, judge, Mega Manectric. VS Seeker again. Okay. Another Regice comes down. Glaceon comes down. Now that could be a problem. Unlike all the things that we don't, that would normally be problems, these really wouldn't. But this one normally would not be a problem for Night March, but in this case, it is a huge problem. So he's going to switch into Manectric, and we'll see a 40-20 overrun here. So we'll just go ahead and take this Professor Sycamore and run with it. Ah, God, are you kidding me? What do we get out of this? Do we have an EXP share? No, so I guess we can take one. And we can discard a couple of cards here to go and get a candle. Try to hold a candle to this stuff. Not sure how well that's going to work, especially with bad jokes and all that, but go ahead and throw that down, and we'll do setup. Yeah, that's not happening. Alright, so we're going to toss Lysander, Hexmaniac, anything else worth throwing? Guess not, just those two. Suppose we'll do that so we can retreat it. Yeah, that's gonna be all. We'll get ourselves knocked out, and then we'll be able to end. Draw a fresh hand. Hopefully that works out for us. So he Trainer's Mails, grabs a Sycamore. And the real problem, I guess, looking at this, like I said, Crystal Ray, Glaceon EX, the fact that it would deal enough damage not only to knock out Lampent, but then to also shield itself from the only attacker that under this challenge I am allowed to use. So we need to work around Glaceon, which means if he were to not bench anything else, we would have to KO everything else on his board right now. So we're going to see an Assault. Well, we wouldn't do Assault Laser here now. We're going to see an Overrun, so it's going to be Knockout here, and he is going to attack the Pumpkaboo again. So I am perfectly fine with that. We are going to need to find a Lampent now. Ultra Ball, come on. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So we're going to let go of the Psychic Energy and I guess another EXP share here because we need some form of draw power. So we're going to go grab an attacker. We'll evolve. We got 7 Marchers in there right now. So we can go ahead and play an N here. Drain our opponent's hand size and try to gain a bit for ourselves. We'll go ahead and throw that on the bench. Do a Trainer's Mail. Oh, nice. Okay, so we do get the second puzzle of time. So we can make a play here. We've got 7 in there. We can get back an EXP share and a Battle Compressor from this, which would put us in position to be able to get this play and to actually make this play. Where's the compressor? Because we do have, okay, yeah, so it is 7. So we need to put 2 more in the discard. Do we have 2 more? Nope, we do not. Rest in peace. Sad face. God, that sucks. Yeah, whatever. Go ahead and throw that on there. Shaman setup. Should have ran Muscle Band. That doesn't help. Retreat into this guy, I suppose. See if we can't get into Lysander, or maybe he'll just knock that one out. That prized Joltik is killing us right now. And hopefully he does not show up with a Lysander on this turn. So we see a Water Energy go on to Regice. Ugh, we're all out of puzzles now. So we won't be getting back either of those two Lampents. So that means we've got at most 2 attackers if we can pluck that other Lampent out of the prizes. Not a lot of stuff that that can really work out here. So our opponent instead plays a Shauna. Shuffles back and draws 5. Oh, come on. So we're going to see another overrun here, which means our Lampent's going to take 20 damage. So we really got to get that other one out of the prize cards. Maybe we can get a teammates play here. Since this is going to put our 9th Night Marcher in the discard pile, which will enable us to knock out that Manectric. Instead, he goes for the Litwick. So let's see. Go ahead and bring Lampent up. And now we have a knockout, and we can take advantage of it a little bit here with teammates. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get teammates going. What do we have? Let's see, he's got a couple of muscle bands, nothing too bad. Definitely get that thing out of there, and I suppose we're just taking another one of those. Flip them over. Yeah, okay, so that's the one we need. Go ahead and get an energy down on there, and we will Night March for the knockout to the tune of 180 damage. Take out Manectric, and we'll take Lampent, and I suppose it's just good to have more VS Seekers right now. I'm just kind of sitting on all these VS Seekers, and hoping that he doesn't have a double colorless here. And he does. Go figure. I guess we do get one positive out of this, being that our next attacker will be already charged up. And he doesn't look like he's going to have anything to attack with next turn. We do need to try to find that startling megaphone, though, to get rid of his muscle band, because we don't want a 50 damage attack from this guy to come in and knock us out. So we actually find it. So we can go ahead and take those off there. Bring this guy out. And let's see. Is there anything else we really need to do right here? I suppose we could VS for the Hex, just to try to slow things down even more. Play the Hex Maniac and Night March again. Take another knockout. And let's take an Ultra Ball. So he is going to bring up the Regice, so a Water Energy would give him a flip for Paralysis here, which could in effect end the game. And he would have had the knockout there with the Muscle Band. Assuming he doesn't run a 4th copy, that is. So we see an Ultra Ball, he discards Manectric Link and Rough Seas, goes and grabs another Manectric EX. That comes down, so of course all that's going to need is an energy next turn. So we see an Ice Beam here, he does 30 damage, and oh, he paralyzes us. Alright, so we gotta go to the Lysander Resort now. So let's go grab our Lysander. See if we can't drag up Glaceon and stall him for a moment. So we'll go ahead and do that. He should have, yeah, he's got a 2 retreat. So our opponent plays a red card. So he's going to send our hand back. We'll draw 4. We still get the VS Seeker we need. He attaches another energy to Regice. Now we can Lysander up the Regice if he doesn't get Glaceon out of the active, and then we can just knock it out. So that's what's going to happen here. And I'm glad he attached over here and not to Manectric. So we can VS Seeker once again, claim our Lysander, bring this guy up, and then we can Night March for another knockout. And we'll go ahead and grab the Litwick. So now this is Manectric's overrun show here. All he needs is one energy to be able to knock us out here, and this is one of those come down to the wire kind of deals here. And oh, he gets the energy, and that overrun is going to be enough to knock us out. We do see another Glaceon come down. Oh, and he's going to start playing all the cards now. You got to do that, man, really? Just overrun and end the game, dude. Red card. Seriously, man? I mean, whatever. I'm not going to start messaging you all this salty stuff. I don't expect to win with this thing anyway, but there we go. So overrun is going to take us out, and that's pretty much going to end the game. I'll go ahead and play it till the end, but there's not really much we can do from here, since nothing else is allowed to attack. And that handicap just really making it what it is. So, of course, being all out of Lampents now. I mean, sure, we can attach this. We can play this. What do we got? Professor Sycamore. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and play it. Discard our hand. I'm going to put this guy down. And pay the retreat cost. I'll bring out the other Shaman. And sadly, we can't play the Psychic Energy, so we're just going to pass our turn. And he's just going to go ahead and he's got another attach there anyway. And Assault Laser will end the game and the Impossible Deck Challenge. So that is it. We won 2 games, though, so not too bad when you can only attack with Lampent. So, we got a couple of W's in there before we fell flat, and even then it was 1 card away, 1 turn. Really just kind of pulling for it there. And in the end, we come just a little bit short, but that's the Impossible Deck Challenge for this week. I'm Heretic, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.